welcome back to my channel. I'm Jules Madison, entrepreneur. I'm doing a collaboration, let me take my hat off, with the wonderful Monica Barnes. Monica Barnes Art. A link to her channel and her video is in the description box below. And we're doing a collaboration on a pyramid, resin pyramid. The theme is summertime. Summertime could be anything. To me, it's usually beach. And this time I've decided not to do beach. I'm doing floral. And my flowers, they're not real flowers, they're all silk flowers, and they are white, including a daisy chain, because when I look back at my childhood, I remember making daisy chains. So without further ado, let's go into my studio and I will show you how I made my pyramid. Okay, I have my frame. I have put talcum powder in it, and that is, if you haven't seen my original pyramid that I did, it stops the silicone pyramid mold from sticking to the frame, because if you don't do that, it's a problem getting it out. Now, with these pyramids that I got off Amazon, and you can, the link to where I got these will on Amazon. They're on my recommended supply list. You get 2 pyramids, so I'm going to use my other one that I haven't used yet, and I'm just going to pop that in. So that is lovely. I am using Naked Fusion's deep pour resin, and it's a 2-to-1, 2 parts resin to 1 part hardener. And with a deep pour resin, it's much thinner and takes a lot longer to dry. So I'm not going to mix any color with this resin. I'm just going to have it clear because I've got my lovely white silk flowers here. I haven't decided exactly what kind of order they are going to go in, but I am going to begin with a white rose. So let me just chop this little straggly bit off. And I wasn't sure which size I was going to use. I think that one's too small. I like the size of, I thought of having a good size one in the beginning. So I'm going to pour the resin in, probably about 2 inches deep. That's good for the beginning. Now with the point, and my other one came out perfectly, just go around all the edges with a pointy stick to make sure if there is an air bubble at the bottom, you get all the bubbles out. And because it is thinner, the bubbles do tend to rise to the surface. And I'm going to place my rose right in the center. All right, once this is hard, we will come back and do the next step. Okay, the first layer is not quite dry, but I want to place these flowers in the corner. I'm hoping that once the resin goes in, they will behave and stay in place. And the reason I'm doing this, now this resin is not quite set. So see, this is great. This one's just lying completely natural. And this one's sinking a little bit, and I'm debating whether to use some hot glue just to hold that in place for a while. Or maybe not. Maybe just the resin, once it's poured in, it'll be fine. And then when the layers go in, it will, I don't know, just kind of break it up a bit so it's not too regimented in stripes and layers, you know, because I'm not doing any colors in the layers. And even though everything is predominantly white, you know, I've got my daisy chain setting up here, ready for the next layer, and I think this green and yellow and white will complement everything and bring it all together. So I have a bottle here, and this is going to go into the middle of the pyramid. It will contain the lights. The first thing I have to do is cut the bottom off, and I have a nice new X-Acto blade on here, so this should cut quite well. And the bottle I'm using, it's best to use a bottle that has nice clean sides, as opposed to, seeing if I have a regular water bottle. Like regular water bottles have like wrinkles and odd shapes, and this bottle is one of those mini Simply juice bottles. Okay, try and tidy that up. It doesn't have to be particularly neat, and it's slimmer than the last bottle I used. The other thing you do is you cut off the top. So, like so. Not perfectly straight, but I'm not going to worry about that. And because I've just rinsed it out, I'm going to make sure this is absolutely dry inside, because I don't want any drips. So now I get my glue gun and just seal all around the rim to make sure, oh, hang on, I've got to push my glue skin in. Let me move my pyramid out of the way for now. And just make sure that is completely sealed up. So no naughty resin can leak into the bottle. Because remember, this is much thinner resin and takes longer to set. And then I wouldn't have any space for my lights. The bottle I am going to stick right in the middle of these flowers. You can see how much resin this saves. If I wasn't putting this in the middle, which will hold the lights, this pyramid would take 42 ounces. So far I've used 3 ounces at the base. This is another, I think this is 3.5 ounces. So I'm just going to pour this in for the next layer to cover up these flowers, and hopefully they won't all float up to the surface. And my bottle is staying put. Once this is dry, we will come back and carry on. For the third layer of my pyramid, I'm going to be doing like a daisy chain. But because I know the daisies are going to be floating up to the surface, I'm going to use a tiny, tiny bit of E6000 on like one leaf, just to keep them down, because I know they are going to float away and that will spoil everything. So I'm going to apply the glue. The resin's mixed, and if I haven't mixed enough resin, I'm hoping I have. I think I've got 2.8, 1.4. I think I've got almost 4 ounces here, so it should be enough. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is get my E6000 and literally just put, and you won't see this once because it's going to be underneath. Just got to get it on there. Wrong side. It's just going to be on one leaf because I want these daisies to kind of face out. This is going to be awkward to do, fiddly. Remember, because when you're doing a pyramid, everything is upside down when you're making it. I'm going to do 4 daisies on each side, and then when I've done that, I'll come back just before I've done, say, my last 2 daisies, and then I'll pour in the resin with you. Let's hope the glue has dried, and let's hope that I have enough resin. No biggie if I don't, but I should have. You better cover them. This is 4 ounces here, and I want to cover it completely. My next layer is little peony buds. Time for another layer on my pyramid. This time I'm going to pour the resin in first. And I have some little silk peonies, which I'm going to place in face down. The time has come to do the last layer. I've mixed some regular resin, not the deep pour resin, and I've put some Deco Art satin enamel paint in here to make it like really lovely and opaque. And I think what I'm going to add into that to hopefully add a little bit of sparkle is some Recollections silver glass glitter. And in fact, what I might do is sprinkle this first, just a little bit, because I think the lights might pick this up. And just create that little bit of glamour. I'm going to put that on my dust tent, and tomorrow we will finish this off. Now for how I make the base. Now I've made this smaller so it'll sit kind of inside the base because I only have black felt. And I've cut out a piece of quite firm plastic, the type you get maybe on the lid of a food container, you know, those sturdy ones. So I get my plastic, put it over my, and I've moved you over to the edge. I know you're at a funny angle, but the sun is so bright. And I kind of want all the sides to be the same. And I'm just going to cut it with my X-Acto knife. You could do this with your craft knife or just draw it and cut it with scissors. And that's what I do. And then I take the corners, cut those. Let's take the sticky plastic off, or the sticky paper, I should say. Oh, come on. And it really is quite sticky. So then I place this back, lining up my slices. And then I just fold this over. I'm going to cut, where are my scissors? I'm going to cut off one edge. Probably easier to do before you fold it over, because you're going to stick another piece on top of this, so you're not going to really see the messiness underneath. You will see. So cut off those pieces. And fold over all your sides. They're only sticking out, just trim them. And this one. Right, and then you get another piece, and this time I'm going to draw around with a pen. And I'm just going to cut slightly within that line. And you just stick it on. And there you have your base for your pyramid. Now it's time to take the bottle out. First thing I'm going to do is cut it right down though with my trusted, the sun's gone down, which makes it a lot easier. It's not so hot in here. So voila! I'm going to try and take the plastic out with some tweezers. See if I can do that. It is held down. I don't know if that's going to happen. So I have my heat gun. I'm only going to put it on a low setting. See the bottle begins to pull itself away from the wall. Cool this down a little bit, and you can see all sides have pulled away. I think it's going to still need some more heat. Well, getting that bottle out was not easy. So I have my pyramid finally done. Let's do the big reveal. So this should be my white, elegant, summertime pyramid. And hopefully no bits will stick. I was careful. You have to be really careful with your heat gun. And don't stick anywhere. I was really careful. And if you think it is going to stick anywhere, oh my God, it's so pretty. Like it's sticking a little tiny bit there. If you think it's going to stick anywhere, just use some little alcohol just to help it come off. Come on. I nearly run out of alcohol. Tiny bit sticking there. And this is just the problem with, oh, it looks like a wedding. Oh, these would be gorgeous for a wedding. Come on. I'm just going to have to pour it on. I've nearly run out. There we go. So There we go. See, that's the way you stop your silicone molds from tearing. Just use a little tiny bit of alcohol and just ease it off. Don't try and force it, because they will come off. And my daisy chain looks wonderful. Come on, gently. Be really, really careful when you use heat with these silicone molds, because they are so delicate. But here it comes. Perfect. So there she is, she's finished. Let me wipe the alcohol ink off. And let me put the lights in. And then I'll bring you down for a closer look. Okay, here it is in all its beautiful glory. You can see it with its lights on. The point is perfect. There's its lights and its adorable daisy chain. I'm not going to turn the lights on because it's just absolutely gorgeous the way it is. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.